The Seahawks did what they do best, win at home in December. Highlight to their big game against the Eagles coming up. The Ravens look to stay in the playoff hunt when they took on the Lions in Charm City. Flacco with a nice day under center. Titans were looking to keep their hold over the AFC South as they took on the Texans in Nashville. Are they really a threat in the playoffs? Tom and Harris discussed the AFC South. Gino took over for Eli and it went about as you would expect, but a new coach and a new GM are on the way. We have 5 options for each. The Vikings looked like the best team in the NFC against the Falcons. Could they really have home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs? Gronk had 147 yards, but everyone is only going to remember this wild hit that got him suspended. Tom and Harris break down if he should have gotten more than 1 game. The Packers are somehow still alive as they await for the return of Aaron Rodgers. Could they make a late season run at the wild card? The Chiefs are in complete free fall, and hey, the Jets are still in the playoff hunt. Are the Chiefs even going to make it to the playoffs after losing 5 of 6? Jimmy G got off to a great start against the Bears. Look what happens when a good QB can elevate those around him. The Broncos are on the other end of that spectrum, though. They are a complete mess. Should there be questions about first-year head coach Vance Joseph? The Jags took home an easy win against the Colts to move to 8-4, and the Saints finally got that big win they were looking for. Alvin Kamara continues his historic run for Rookie of the Year. The Rams got a nice divisional win on the road as they move to 9-3 as they try to keep their grip on the 3 seed in the NFC. And the Chargers down the street beat the Browns in LA. It's time for NFL Daily, and here we go.
Man crates. Awesome gifts for men in real wooden crates, wrapped in a cocoon of duct tape, or housed in ammo cans that are virtually indestructible. Some gifts he'll get to assemble himself. Some gifts you'll beg him to share. And some gifts are sealed inside layers of rock-solid concrete. Gifts guys love, from grilling gear to old-school video games and more. Man crates. Awesome gifts for men.
We start with Sunday Night Football, and guess what, Harris? Good things happen when Jimmy Graham gets the ball. Seattle up 10-0 in the first. Turn to the third now, kind of a boring game. Eagles down 10-3. They're going to score. Carson Wentz fumbles the football out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Seattle takes over. Later in the third now, Russell Wilson had a little bit of time there, at least more than he's used to. Finds Doug Baldwin, who almost gets in, was just out of bounds, just shy there. And then a few plays later, someone forgot about Tyler Lockett. Wide open, easy touchdown. Seattle extends that lead. 3rd and long now to start the 4th quarter. Carson Wentz gets pressured, rolls out to his right, almost falls down, throws it way downfield to Nelson Aguilar. A huge gain there for the Eagles on a huge 3rd down pickup. And again, 3rd down, again, Wentz under pressure, and again, back to Aguilar, off balance, a touchdown this time. Eagles cutting that lead 17-10. Russell Wilson turns down some tricky business on 3rd down, keeps it here, and then the little shovel pitch there, legal by the way, to Mike Davis. 1st down there for Seattle. And then later in the drive, top of your screen, J.D. McKissic abuses his defender, ankles broken, easy touchdown there. Seattle up 24-10, just over 2 minutes to go. Wentz tries to do the same thing, roll out, throw it kind of off balance, go deep downfield to Nelson Aguilar. This time it's picked off though. Byron Maxwell, the interception. Seattle goes on to win 24-10. A big win for the Seahawks. The Eagles lose a key game.
There you go. Seattle at home. Russell Wilson solidifying his MVP campaign. I think he's 3rd now. I think he has to be 3rd. Brady, Wentz, Russell Wilson. He has to be there. He's been incredible.
I will
He's
continue to push for Drew Brees on the principle that Drew Brees deserves an MVP, and the Saints are going to be a playoff team this year.
He's absolutely incredible. We're going to bring in a reaction poll for you folks. Who gets the number 1 seed in the NFC? Tom, what do you think?
Well, when we did our show yesterday, I thought the Eagles were going to win this game, and I felt a lot better about picking them to get the number 1 seed. Now with Minnesota, look, Minnesota's in really good shape. I think their schedule is maybe a little bit easier than the Eagles, who still have to play the Cowboys and some other rough games as well. I will still lean towards the Eagles, but this is a toss-up, and it's going to come all the way down to the end of the year now. and I'm excited to see the NFC. The NFC playoff race is fantastic this year. You got the Eagles, the Vikings, Saints, even the Rams are kind of in the mix as well. It's incredible, and I love it. I love the NFC this year.
I gotta say, I'm more on board with the Minnesota Vikings. I just think they're so good. The defense is unbelievable. I think if you're gonna give me one unit that's maybe been the best unit in all of football this year, I think it might be the Minnesota Vikings defense. Every question that they've been answered this year, or asked, they've answered so far. But we're coming on screen here, ladies and gentlemen. Ben McAdoo is now Ben McAdoo doesn't have a job. Tom, we are rid of Ben McAdoo, finally.
I'm going to glance over that one. That was probably one of your worst puns ever.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You reached so hard.
That was a great one.
You reached very hard.
That was a great one, but not
you reached a
nearly
little
as
hard.
great as Man Crates, who we are presented by today. Quality gifts for men, a box full of testosterone. Also, the perfect holiday gift. You can get them a jerky gram, a Barware set for our college football fans. If you want to get something USC, Texas, anything you want on there. Alabama for our playoff
Plenty
fans
of
out there.
NFL Barware as well.
Plenty of NFL teams as well. Tom, these are the perfect gifts. We have a ton of them in the office.
Mancrates.com. I love their jerky grams. The jerky is so good.
They're delicious. We had some of them in office yesterday.
I ate a lot more of it than I should have last night.
Way too much. Way too much. Tom, let's go now to the Lions taking on the Ravens in Baltimore. Let's jump now. Ravens Lions. Flacco off of play action, going to fire down the field to Mike Wallace, who's going to get inside the 5-yard line. Sometimes he just runs straight, and sometimes he can actually end up under the ball. Good for Mike Wallace there. And then Flacco going to roll out, going to find bumping Benny Watson for the score. 7-0 Ravens, second quarter. Ravens now going to go up 17-0. Flacco to his fullback, Patrick Ricard, for the touchdown. Then the Lions would answer. This is Theo Riddick going to take it into the end zone here. Is he a feature back, Tom?
Well, with Amir Abdullah hurt, yeah.
There you go. Moving on now. Lions.
Although he split time with someone named Tion Green. I know where he went to school. We'll get that later in the show.
All right, we'll get on to Tion Green in a little bit. Down 27-13. Matt Stafford going to hit his linebacker, Michael Roberts, for the touchdown. That'll lead to this. How about this? Nick Bellore, the linebacker, for the touchdown. Gotta love linebacker touchdowns. Throwback to Mike Vrabel way back when. The Ravens defense continued to play at elite level. Here's Marlon Humphrey with the interception, replacing Jimmy Smith, and that'll do it. Baltimore crushes the Lions 44-20. Tom, it was Matt Stafford on the road against a team with a winning record.
Yeah,
not surprising.
Didn't go well. Look, the Lions offense, they put up 20 points, but when their defense allows 44 to the Ravens, yeah, that's not going to set up very well for you. So Harris, here is your trivia question. Tion Green, the Lions' leading rusher, where do you go to school?
Tion Green, North Texas.
Not even remotely close, my friend. It is the University of Cincinnati.
I have no idea who Tion Green is.
It's all right. No one outside of Detroit and Cincinnati did before today's game.
Yeah, for Tion Green. Tom, what do you make of this Ravens team? We know that our in-house Cam Rogers think that they're going to win the Super Bowl because apparently January and December Joe Flacco is a thing.
Look, it's the Ravens. They're going to finish with like 9 wins because the AFC is awful this year. They're going to be an okay team, but they're not going to make a giant push in the playoffs unless Joe Flacco actually is the second version of Eli Manning, who is not that great in the regular season, and then postseason comes around, and all of a sudden he's incredible. I don't think that's the case. I don't trust Baltimore in the postseason. They will make it, though, because, frankly, who else are you going to put in there in the AFC? The Bengals? Come on.
Bengals are currently sitting at, I believe, 5-7 as of right now.
5-6.
5-6. Excuse me. They played tonight against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's move on now to the Texans taking on the Titans. Tom Savage is going to find Braxton Miller in stride, and guess what? The Ohio State man is going to get inside the 5-yard line. Almost got that touchdown for him. I guess he would have made him feel a lot better now that Ohio State got ranked number 5. And then Tom Savage finding Steven Anderson. Texans up early, 10-0. Here we go. At this point, the Texans have outscored the Titans this year 67-14, but the Titans would answer. Here goes Derrick Henry, stiff-arming his way deep into Houston territory. Then Marcus Mariota takes it himself, fools everyone, including myself, and he's going to find and the cameraman and get the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. Titans pull within 3 later in the third quarter. Marcus Mariota finding Delaney Walker off the play action for the touchdown. Tennessee takes the lead. Tom Savage hoping to take the Texans back into this one. 4th down. Minute 50 left in the game. Savage rolls out. Going to find Steven Anderson on probably the best throw that Tom Savage has maybe ever made in his career.
Throw.
Beautiful throw for him. And then you get the good with Tom Savage, and then you get the bad with Tom Savage. Picked off to end the game. The Titans go on to win on a late Derrick Henry touchdown, 24-13. Tom,
throw that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, what you
I got
got?
a question for you. Are you afraid of the Titans in the playoffs?
Not really. I like this Titans team, but you're asking me if I'm afraid of Mike Mularkey in the playoffs. And my answer is no, I am not.
Mike Mularkey with the
Yeah.
Is it exotic Smash Mouth or is it really erotic Smash Mouth?
It is neither because it's just kind of blah. Like
not.
the offense isn't that great. Like it underachieves. This offense should be so much better than it actually is, and I think that comes back down to the coaching staff. Look, Mularkey has them at 8-4. That's pretty impressive. That's not a big deal there, but I don't think that they're good enough with Mularkey and with the way the team is currently built to take that next step forward in an actual postseason run. They've had some pretty bad losses as well, and I think that gives me some, okay, maybe they win a game, but they're not going to beat the Patriots. We saw them against the Steelers. They got pounded.
They did get
I don't know that that's going to change. Maybe it's a closer game, but they're not going to win.
Derrick Henry week in and week out, however, seemingly getting more and more carries and doing more and more with them. Let's move on now to the Giants taking on the Raiders. Tom, all you.
Yeah, Geno Smith getting the start for the Giants, and maybe that wasn't a good decision. The first pass for Geno, incomplete, and yeah, better than Eli Manning, right, folks? 2 minutes later, Raiders get on the board. Marshawn Lynch going beast mode. Got a little tired here at the end, but he still gets into the end zone for the score. Scampers in. Raiders up 7-0. Giants respond. Orleans Darkwa punches in to tie things up at 7 apiece. Don't worry, though. Geno Smith came out here, and so did the Giants' offensive line. No chance there for Geno. Fumbles the ball as Bruce Irvin knocks it loose. Raiders take over off Smith's first turnover. How about another one? Giants in the red zone inside the 10-yard line, and Geno Smith gets strip sacked by Khalil Mack.
Great play by Khalil Mack.
A heck of a play there.
What a play.
Big play there for the Raiders defense. Fourth quarter now. We'll jump ahead a little bit here. Raiders in the red zone. DeAndre Washington blows right to the line, breaks a tackle. Raiders up 17-7 now. Giants, though, would respond. Geno Smith, a really nice throw here to Evan Ingram, gets both feet in bounds. Giants in the lead, 17-14 now. Derek Carr, Johnny Holton in stride. He fumbled, but he's in the end zone. He recovered, didn't matter. Touchdown there, Oakland Raiders. That's what they needed there. They go on to win 24-17. The Raiders 6-6 and a down AFC West. All of a sudden, very much in the playoff conversation. But the big story after this game, Harris, the Giants have fired Ben McAdoo and GM Jerry Reese.
Ben McAdoo and Ben McAdoo.
There you go.
Very, very proud.
I like Ben McAdoo, don't.
I'm very excited that Ben McAdoo doesn't have a job anymore. Do you want to know why? Because it opens up the possibility for the Giants to get a legitimate head coach onto a legitimately talented team. This isn't a bad Giants team. They're just poorly coached. They don't have leadership on this team. They benched Eli Manning. I think it was it had to be done. It was overdue.
I see quite a few overdues. I see some had to be dones. I do see some lull Giants.
Also lull
I thought that was funny.
I like lull Giants.
We do that for the Cowboys. We do it for other teams when things are going really bad for them. So I figured, hey, why not do it for you?
That's the people
I
Tom.
see zero unfair. I think that's very accurate as well.
I'm going to actually throw up an angry face because I also agree lull Giants. I also agree. But, Tom, we have a couple of head coaching candidates. Now, if the Giants actually, want to check out the Chat Sports broadcast, they can see our top 5 candidates. So without further ado, let's go to number 5, the candidates that the Giants could hire for head coach. And at number 5, we have Pat Shurmur, the Vikings offensive coordinator, who has done wonders with Case Keenum, a running back core that basically starts Latavius Murray, a very consistent unit. He's turned Adam Thielen into one of the best wide receivers in all of football. Pat Shurmur making a nice NFL coaching.
We are going to give him a break for being the Cleveland head coach because no one has success there.
Yep.
But since he left, he's done a great job in Philadelphia as well under Chip Kelly for a little bit there. That offense was good.
Yep.
Personnel decisions, not so much.
Not great.
But he was fine. He's
Chip
done a great job with the Vikings here. Shurmur's going to get another chance. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think the work he's done with Keenum has been wildly impressive.
Wildly impressive. So, the exact phrase I was going to use.
Folks, get your comments in as to who you want the Giants head coach to be. We'll get to those. We've also got some odds that have been posted with, I'm sure, some names we'll see mentioned in the comments section. I will say Chance Johnson, our resident Vikings fan, says don't take Pat. That's when you know that someone's a good coach. When they say, no, don't take him, that's when he's good.
Pat Shurmur, I'm stunned that Case Keenum has been anything close to good this year. Let's move on to number 4, Dave Taub, the Chiefs special teams coach. Tom, I don't want to out you here, but I'm going to out you a little bit. In your article on Chat Sport, or Mitchell Renz's article, I should say, he called Dave Tao maybe the greatest special teams coach of all time. Fact or fiction?
I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, Mitchell's not the only one to say that. Look, everywhere he goes, there is incredible success on the special teams side of things. I'm frankly a little surprised that he doesn't have a head coaching job already. I think it's the bias against special teams head coaches.
Yep.
It's not the same sexy hire as the young up-and-coming OC or the veteran defensive coordinator that we always seem to have happen
A lot
here.
of great special teams guys in the NFL. Belichick's special team guy. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach. There are plenty of special teams head coaches.
I think that he's going to get a job this year. And I don't know if it's going to be in New York. I look at the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're going to fire Chuck Pagano. Chris Ballard is there. Now, we'll talk about GMs.
Yes.
If John Dorsey goes somewhere else, Top's going to be an option there. I think he's going to get a job this year. He's had several interviews in the past. It's going to happen for him at some point in the very near future.
Definitely an option. Let's move on to number 3, Frank Reich, the Eagles offensive coordinator, done wonders with Carson Wentz this year across the board, that entire Eagles offense, running game as well. He's been pretty spectacular. However, Eagles are probably pretty keen to keep him. We know that they have that whole 3 former NFL quarterback system between him, the quarterback's coach, and Doug Peterson, the head coach. What do you make of Frank Reich?
I think that what he's done with Philadelphia this year is going to help out his coaching stock. This was not a guy on my early season list of coaches to watch. Obviously, you're looking at all the coordinators, and I was on Sean McVay. This was not someone I was on. I clearly should have been. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if he got a job. Look, he's from New York. I think that'll help him out a little bit as well. He was born in Freeport. I think he's going to get a lot of interest. I don't know if he gets hired, but we'll get to some odds later on. He's got some good odds this year, so keep an eye on Frank Reich.
Keep an eye on Frank Reich for sure. Number 2, the rocket scientist himself, Matt Patricia, the Patriots defensive coordinator. Tom, I got to say, I'm surprised he keeps showing up on head coaching lists.
Why?
All right. Matt Patricia, for me, has always been the same thing. He's always been a placeholder. It's not that Matt Patricia's system has been incredible. In fact, if you look at most of the Patriots defensive coordinators, most have been pretty absurdly successful. Matt Patricia, to me, I think he's a good personnel guy. I don't know if his scheme is necessarily what teams are going to want. I think he's really good with the defensive players. You talk to a lot of the Patriots defensive players, and they speak the world of him, but if the Giants want to bring him in as someone who can help their defense, that's kind of where my holdup is. This one doesn't make a ton of sense to me because of Steve Spagnuolo's great success there the past 2 years.
I think if they're going to keep Spagnuolo, maybe he doesn't make a ton of sense. But if they're really going to blow it all up and they want a true head guy, I look at Patricia's background. What hasn't he done?
Yes, that's true.
Offensive assistant, O-line coach, linebacker, safety, now D coordinator. He's got the diversity in your background that you want.
Yep.
Also, he is a genius. So
yeah, he's
I think
super
that helps.
smart.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
Well,
also,
when you called him a rocket scientist,
no,
you were
I'm
not
serious.
kidding.
No, he's literally
That's
a
literally
rocket scientist.
what he is.
He was a rocket scientist. Obviously, he's not a rocket scientist. I don't know. Do you always maintain the title of rocket scientist?
Yes, I think once you are a rocket scientist, you don't lose that title.
You get to stay rocket scientist.
Because
All right,
that's
I like
fair.
it. Let's move into our number 1 candidate, and Tom, this is him. This is it.
Look,
if you're the Giants, this is the first phone call you make. Josh McDaniels, the Patriots offensive coordinator.
Josh McDaniels, and even though things were awful in Denver, he has rehabbed his stock in a very significant way. He is really, I think, going to be the top guy on almost every team's list. Like, in terms of realistic options. So no John Gruden, no Bill Cowher, no Bob Stoops, no whatever other former coach you want to have on there. I think McDaniels, yeah, Denver was awful, but he's rehabbed his image, and he's still the same thing right now. Young, offensive mind with great production coming out from under Bill Belichick.
And
that checks all your boxes.
And I'm sorry, I understand this whole.
Just don't let him be the.
Don't let him be in charge
GM.
of personnel.
There you
Guess
go.
what? You can bring the other Patriots front. You can bring Nick Caserio, his best friend, and one of his best men at his wedding. You can bring them along and hire them both, just like they almost did in San Francisco last year. It'd be the perfect fit. We've got a weigh-in coming on screen here. Who would the Giants hire, or who should the Giants hire as their next head coach? Tom, I think it's a slam dunk Josh McDaniels. If you go back and you look at all the things he said about the next head coaching job, all he's been looking for is a big market job. I said that he might be waiting for the Green Bay job to come open if they ever do anything with Mike McCarthy there. I've looked at a couple times maybe if Pete Carroll decides to retire in Seattle, that could be a place for Josh McDaniels. But for the most part, for me, Tom, it has been New York is the perfect place for him. You give him a defense and a good defensive coordinator, he doesn't have to worry about it. You give him Odell Beckham Jr., you give him Evan Ingram, and then you draft a quarterback and you let him grow
offensive
through
line.
Josh McDaniels' system. And one great thing about McDaniels' system, time and time again, it has done great things with bad offensive lines. So
True.
I really think that if you're the Giants, he's the first call you make.
I agree.
And if he's not, I very much question their coaching search.
I agree. All right, so there are our top 5 candidates here: Shermer, Albrecht, Patricia, and McDaniels there. Now, those aren't the only guys out there, and everyone knows that. I've already seen some comments about getting John Gruden. So we're going to take a look at some of the more expanded options.
Expanded
and we'll look at
is a good way to put it.
We'll look at it through the eyes of the Vegas odds. How do things break down when you look beyond the kind of the top names, or even you go beyond the unrealistic candidates, is what I call them, the long shots.
There are 2 of these people on the list that are legitimate options, and then there's other ones that make absolutely no sense.
All right, so let's start there, because I want to see who are your legitimate options.
So our odds that we have here: Nick Saban 80-1, David Shaw 60-1, Bill Cowher also 60-1, John Gruden 25-1, and Brian Kelly 23-1. Here are the options that actually make sense.
Okay.
David Shaw. That makes sense. Maybe he's reached his peak at Stanford, actually wants to make the jump to the NFL. We'll see this and that, could actually see it. And then the only one is Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly makes sense. No, they went after him the last time they had a head coaching search. Good year at Notre Dame, but you could always see him leaving Notre Dame. John Gruden is not going to the Giants. Bill Cowher is never going to coach again. And Nick Saban being on there is just straight up embarrassing.
Well, hey, the Giants have always been linked to Nick Saban for whatever reason. Because it's Nick Saban, it's the Giants, and it's not happening. I totally agree with you there. That's why it's 80-1 odds, which is Vegas saying, look, we'll take your money, thank you.
Yeah.
David Shaw always comes up because he has NFL background experience. He coached for the Eagles, the Raiders, and the Raiders and the Ravens, but he's a Stanford alum. I don't think he's going to leave. I think he truly loves being at Stanford. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you're at Stanford, you're just going to win 10 games every year and never to leave.
Yeah. I think
so. I agree with you with Cowher and Gruden. I don't think those jobs are going to happen either. So sorry if that's who you guys want. I understand
John Gruden on the Giants would be just hilarious.
Big old target name there. With Brian Kelly, I believe that eventually Brian Kelly and Notre Dame will get a divorce. And I don't know who's going to file for that divorce.
I think it's going to be Brian Kelly.
I think that I believe that Brian Kelly is a very good head coach. He did a good job turning things around this year with some new coordinators. If it didn't happen, Notre Dame was going to file those divorce papers. Yep. There's been a little bit of rumblings around Brian Kelly, and hey, maybe he could elect to leave. And he said, look, this is not a 15-plus year job. Like, I don't think Kelly wants to stay in one spot for 15 years. And frankly, who does these days?
I don't even think he should want to.
Like, no one does. It takes a very rare type of coach to stay in one place for so long because, relationships are hard.
Yeah, and also,
life is hard.
These guys, they're competitive people. They want to move on. Yeah. They want to have new challenges. Let's move into sheet number 2 here with our odds. Pat Shermer, 22-1. Jim Schwartz, 20-1. Jim, oh God. Scott Linehan, 15-1. And Dave Taub, 12-1. Tom, I might vomit. Why is Jim Harbaugh on this list?
Because it's Jim Harbaugh.
I'm going to vomit.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to vomit.
Happens, look, Harbaugh is linked to every job that comes up, just like John Gruden. Like, it's going to keep happening.
Sad.
But he's also not going to leave
Why?
Michigan. Because it's Jim. Like, it's
sad.
It's what the people want, man.
I know, but I got to say.
Free money if you don't bet on him.
If they do get rid of Spags, I would love to see Jim Schwartz get another chance.
You're going to pass him for the stench of the Detroit job?
Yep. I think that coaches, like people, change over time. And I think that Jim Schwartz, every single place he has gone, has gotten better at his job. Just statistically, the defenses that he's played, the defenses he's had, they always rush the passer really well. They're always really efficient with the high turnover numbers as well. And also, like with McDaniels, he already failed once.
Yes.
Another chance at it, I think, would be really good for me. He's still relatively young. I think he's still in his 50s. I think that Jim Schwartz would be a really good option for them. 20-1.
He had the one really good year in Detroit, and everything was kind of iffy outside of that.
Those offenses also.
Look, let me put it to you this way. I agree. He should get another shot. But I don't know if I'm the guy. I don't know if I'm running a team. I don't know if I want to be the one to give him that shot.
Fair. Okay, I can give you that one.
And we mentioned other coaches. Scott Linehan, who was with the Rams for 3 years, and things did not go very well. And
not great.
Look, I think it's because it's Cowboys offensive coordinator is why he
Oh,
gets
for
linked.
sure.
Because frankly, like he has done a fine job. He's a quality OC.
Here's his job description.
Yeah.
Give it to Zeke.
And look what happens when Zeke goes away. The offense had serious issues there.
Yeah.
So I have issues with Linehan there, and then you see my boy there, Dave Taub on the list.
I like
I'm
Dave
glad
Taub.
to see that. He's going to get a job, I think, this offseason.
Agreed. All right, let's move into our last one here. Matt Patricia, 12-1. Terrell Austin, 11-2. Frank Reich, 11-2. Josh McDaniels, 4-1. And then Mike Smith, 7-2.
So we'll get to Mike Smith.
We'll get to Mike Smith.
We'll leave that up there
wait
and
on
let
this
everyone
one.
think, oh my God, what's going on? Look, we've mentioned Patricia, why he makes sense. Terrell Austin.
I like Terrell Austin.
He will get interviewed.
Yep,
And
I agree.
I'm almost willing to guarantee that he will get interviewed.
Can I say something a little bit kind of sad, though? Can I ask a question?
The answer to your question is yes, by the way.
Is he the NFL's new Rooney Rule requirement?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's who he is? Okay, that's sad.
I knew
because he's a great coach.
That is what it is.
That's
He and
sad.
Harold Godwin over with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
That's unfortunately.
It was Ken Horton for years. It was him doing
So
that
for those
stuff.
wondering what we mean by the Rooney Rule, the NFL requires you to interview a minority candidate for all head coaching and front office positions.
Yep.
Terrell Austin, as the Lions DC, has kind of become that guy. Vance Joseph was there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Eventually, they do get hired.
Yep.
Because they get everything down, and people go, oh, you know what? He's actually a good coach.
He's a great
Let's
coach.
hire him.
Yeah.
So we've mentioned Frankie McDaniels. Mike Smith,
Yeah.
Harris.
All right.
You're
No.
confused, aren't you?
No, I'm not confused. But I'll put it this way. If you're the New York Giants and you're saying, who should we go to from one defunct head coach? You know who you shouldn't hire? Another really bad defunct head coach. And please answer me this. How good has the Bucs defense been this year?
It's not been good.
Oh, it's been
Yeah.
bad. Really, really bad. This would be maybe the worst hire they could make. And I like Mike Smith. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's an okay defensive coordinator.
I mean,
But
look,
no thank
Harris,
you.
when you get the
No thank
opportunity to interview a head coach who, or a coach who didn't end things well with his last job in Atlanta and might very well get fired from his current job,
Yeah.
you got to do it, right? If the Giants hire Mike Smith, blow it up.
Just hire Josh.
Look, and here's why. They
money at
they
Josh
really
McDaniels.
like Mike Smith.
Just throw money
They
at
almost
him.
hired him when they hired Ben McAdoo. Those are their two candidates in the end, Smith and McAdoo.
Just throw a ton of money at Josh McDaniels. Like, this isn't hard. You need an offensive-minded coach. You need someone that can understand Odell Beckham Jr. You need someone who can identify with the younger players on your offense. Why not? It's Josh McDaniels.
All right.
It is
So
Josh McDaniels.
Mike Smith, there's the familiarity there. That's why the Giants
Yes,
like him.
I know.
That leads into our next discussion. Ben McAdoo, of course, got all the attention, and rightfully so. They've made a change, though. GM. Jerry Reese is out. I think kind of overdue because he hates linebackers for really no reason. Giants GM candidates. Now, we'll take a look at this here. 5 names that we pulled together here for you. Harris, read them off.
All right, we'll go with this one. We got number 5. We got George Patton. And to use a joke you made earlier today, not the general,
Not the general.
but the Vikings assistant GM,
Last I
John
checked.
Dorsey, the former Chiefs GM who surprisingly got fired after Chris Ballard already left. That was weird. Number 3, you got Nick Caserio, the Patriots vice president. We'll get to him. Kevin Abrams, the Giants' current interim GM. And then Dave Gettleman, the ex-Panthers and ex-Giants GM. All surprising stuff. I love these candidates. The top 3 that we have on this list are fascinating.
So I think overall, and we're going to talk more about this as Black Friday or Black Monday approaches and coaches get fired. I don't know if it's a great year for head coaching candidates. I think it's a little down.
It is after Josh McDaniels.
Yes, exactly. And only one
Yes.
team can hire him. So, but I look at GM.
Oh, it's all over the place. It's great.
Like, it's a normal year there. I will point this out, though. You got 2 great ex-GMs in John Dorsey, who should have been fired, and Dave Gettleman, who shouldn't have been fired. Dorsey is going to get a ton of interest. We'll start with Patton here. He almost got the 49ers job. I think he gets a job this year if there are multiple GM replacements.
Yep.
He has had interest in the past.
Yep.
He's done a great job with Minnesota. I'm impressed by him. Dorsey's going to get a job again. It's just a matter of time. I think with McDaniels, the number 3 option, Harris, could be a package deal.
I think
Potentially even with Lewis. Riddick as well, who was also linked to McDaniels for the Niners job.
One of Bill Belichick's favorite all-time front office people, so much so that he let almost his entire front office go over the past 3 years or so Caserio could basically have full control. Nick Caserio has so much control over this Patriots front office. People don't understand that how much he actually does for this team. He physically practices with the Patriots to understand the entire offense and defense better. And also, if you're the Giants looking to draft a quarterback, Caserio has a pretty outstanding resume. In the past couple of years, drafted Jacoby Brissett, drafted Jimmy Garoppolo outside of the first round, an ability to identify and also develop quarterbacks underneath this system. I think Caserio would be a fantastic package deal. But I got to say, I think it'd be difficult to hire Caserio and say no to Kevin Abrams. Kevin Abrams is a great GM. He actually did a lot of their scouting on the defensive side of the ball. He's actually the one that found Landon Collins. He was the one that found Jason Pierre-Paul. His one knock on his record was that he was a big proponent for Eli Apple. But hey, he's only in his second year of his career. We'll see what happens. Kevin Abrams, for me, is kind of the guy. I think if you're the Giants, are they really a team that is going to reach for two outside guys to bring them in? It smells to me that they want to keep a little bit of control in the front office, in the family, and get an outside head coach.
Of course they do, because it's the Giants.
Yes,
that's what they
exactly.
do. And frankly, that's what they need to stop doing. They need to look. It didn't work. They are 2-10 right now.
Jerry Reese didn't work. Jerry Reese is one of the most overrated general managers maybe ever.
They kept it in house. It didn't work. Go get Dave Gettleman. It's a nice hybrid.
I like Gettleman.
Success has been with the Giants. Was there for over a decade. It's a perfect fit, perfect timing. I think you go to get Gettleman, folks. Get your reactions in. Who you got?
Who should the Giants hire as a general manager? I think it's going to be Kevin Abrams. I think that John Mara.
I think
John Mara's too scared. He's too scared to do anything that actually over the top. I understand that he could go Gettleman. Gettleman, obviously familiar with the Mara family and the organization. John Dorsey, great GM, basically built this entire Chiefs team. But Kevin Abrams is the guy that's inside of New York, and I think he's the one that's going to
in the end, I think you're going to be right, and I think there's another thing that we haven't mentioned yet, but I did mention in an article I wrote on this of the 5 candidates that we just discussed, a little more background on all of them and some more details. Kevin Abrams, Giants interim GM, was recommended to the Lions when they hired Bob Quinn. By Ernie Akorski, the former, of course, Giants GM who retired, let Jerry Reese take over. Guess who is advising the Giants on their GM search?
Is it Ernie?
It's Ernie.
It's Ernie.
It's going to be Kevin Abrams.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. It should be Dave Gettleman, but I think Abrams is going to get the gig, and I don't know if the Giants are making the right choice.
Agree with you there. We will have all the information you need on chatsports.com, so check every day for all of your updates on the Giants coaching and general manager search. But a reminder that this episode is brought to you by Man Crates. Go to www.mancrates.com for a box of literal testosterone. Fantastic holiday gift idea for your man. And hey, even a woman if they want a very nice sports bar crate.
Yeah, why not?
No. I don't know. Want some
Man Crates are awesome.
Jerky. They're great for everyone.
The barware.
The barware is great. If you want to get a gift card packed inside of some thick concrete, just take a hammer and smash that thing open. It's pretty fantastic stuff. Great holiday gift ideas, but Tom, I got another holiday gift for you. How about the Minnesota Vikings being maybe the best team in football? Let's go out to Atlanta when they're taking on the Falcons.
First quarter here, it is 4th and 2 here for the Falcons. Matt Ryan will find Tevin Coleman in the flat. That would lead to a Matt Bryant field goal. Unfortunately, a phrase the Falcons heard a bit too often in this one. Vikings respond. Second quarter now, Latavius Murray, he'll bust loose, break some tackles, get all the way down inside the 5-yard line here. A 30-yard gain. Minnesota, great position. That leads to this. Jerick McKinnon kind of sort of vulturing that touchdown there. And then does a little dirty bird dance.
He's from Atlanta.
I love it. Touchdown Vikings there. They're up 7-3 now. It was the Matt Bryant show for Atlanta, which is not a phrase you want to see. There was a 47-yard here to make it 9-7 Atlanta. Same score. First play of the fourth quarter. Kyle Rudolph gets in on the action. Touchdown there from Case Keenum. Now Matt Bryant trying to cut in that lead with about 5 minutes to go. Oh, he overhooked it. Wide left. No good. Big mistake there for Atlanta. Now they need a stop on 3rd and 4. Adam Thielen gets open. He is so good. That allows the Vikings to kind of run out the clock. Kind of, frankly, a boring game. The Vikings go on to win 14-9. Not a ton of offense in this one with that defense. Shut down Atlanta.
Scrappy win.
Julio Jones, a non-factor.
Scrappy win against the reigning NFC champions. Like this is what the Vikings just keep doing to teams. Mm-hmm. They take away they take away what you're best at, and they annihilate you on the ground. So much going on. Case Keenum, 25 of 30, incredibly efficient. Didn't turn the ball over. Latavius Murray was great in this one, 16 carries, 76 yards. A lot of first downs for him. Jerick McKinnon from Atlanta, didn't get any college offers coming out of Atlanta, but still ended up in the NFL. I am infatuated with this Vikings team. If I were to build an NFL team, I would build the Minnesota Vikings. I would totally make this team. This is a great team.
I just want to say that you said you would build a team with Case Keenum as your quarterback.
Well, maybe not Case Keenum.
There you go.
But, like this team. I love this team. I think this is maybe the best team in football.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on here to the Patriots taking on the Bills in Buffalo. And hey, Rob Gronkowski, the Buffalo man, we'll have more from him later. But here's Dion Lewis. He may be little, but he isn't small. Stiff-arming people down the field. 44-yard run for the big guy. Then Rex Burkhead's going to slam this one in for his first of 2 touchdowns on the day, and Pat's up 16-3. Check this out. Brady to Gronkowski. You got the good with the Gronk, maybe sometimes one instance of bad, but this is the good that you get with the best tight end in football.
That's not fair.
What an outstanding grab over Trey White for the big 6'6" monster. Gronkowski, 9 catches, 147 yards on the day. And then here's sexy Rexy Burkhead again up the middle to get into the end zone.
That is reserved for Rex Grossman. How dare you?
Fighting through 2 defenders. And then here we go, Tom. Brady's going to roll out here. Going to kind of toss one up. Gronk's getting manhandled. Trey White picks it off. Gronk sees red and just attacks.
Yeah, drops the forearm shiver.
Gets the 1-game suspension. Pats do get the win. Tom, this has been the talk of the NFL social media sphere all day long.
At least until McAdoo got fired.
Yeah, very true. Do you believe that the 1-game suspension was enough? What do you think about all this?
I thought he should have been kicked out of the game immediately.
Agreed.
I know that some will argue it should be more because Trey White got a concussion.
Okay.
I don't think we should ever be in the business of assigning punishment based on the severity of the injury. Because what happens if he's fine?
That's fine. That's true. I agree.
So it is a 1-game suspension, plain as day.
Yep.
He went after the play directly at Trey White's head. Easy suspension. This is the easiest call the NFL's ever made in their life.
Is this any different than what Mike Evans did earlier in the year? Remember when Mike Evans just roasted and toasted Marshawn Lattimore?
Maybe a little bit worse.
Worse.
Because White's just sitting on the ground.
That's fair.
And they're both cheap shots, and I don't really want to split hairs. They're both really bad. It's an easy 1-game suspension.
I will say this, and I'm not defending the hit, but we need the NFL culture and the kind of the NFL media to please lay off Rob Gronkowski. He made a mistake. He apologized post-game. Even Belichick said the hit was a load of bullshit. Look, Rob Gronkowski has never done anything on or off the field bad in his entire NFL career. This is certainly a bad decision. He acknowledged it, suspension worthy. He's going to appeal the suspension.
He's going to lose this
appeal. It's just stop with the roasting. This isn't Vontaze Burfict here. This is Rob Gronkowski.
We rip him for taking a cheap shot and being
deservingly
a dirty play, and then after the suspension served, we move on.
But I don't think by any means Gronkowski should be titled as a dirty player.
No.
Dirty hit,
dirty
bad
play,
decision, deserving of the 1-game suspension, not a dirty player. Let's move on. Buccaneers, Packers.
Yeah, all right. So we're in Lambeau Field here. The Bucs taking on the Packers in Green Bay. They strike first. Jameis Winston making Cameron Brate again. Touchdown, Bucs. They take the lead. It's 7-3 now in the second. Brett Hundley tried to go deep downfield. He's so good at that. We're kidding. Picked off by Justin Evans. Intercepted there. Brett Hundley, he was awful in this game. We'll show you the stats here at the end. Bucs could not miss them. They have to punt it away, and it's blocked. The Packers get the ball at about the 45-yard line there. Big mistake there by the Bucs. 3rd and goal now. Hundley here in the second. An easy hand up to Jamal Williams, who finds his way into the end zone, barreling through, guys. The rookie from BYU scores. Packers lead by 3, 10-7. Winston, the play action fake, and then the screen to Peyton Barber, who got almost all the action for the Bucs. He gets a huge gain, had 100 yards the first Bucs have to do it all year. Go figure. 4:30 to go now in the second quarter. Winston feeling the pressure, and the ball pops out, and Dean Lowry, the defensive end, runs it all the way back. What is it, Tom? Fat guy touchdown.
Fat guy touchdown.
Love it. Packers extend their lead now 17-7. Now it's 17-13 in the third quarter. Winston sets up a screen here to Sims, and it's a nice game here for the Bucs. They continue to threaten and
Charles Sims did something good.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Charles Sims, go figure it out. So 6:05 to go. Jameis Winston across the middle finds Brait again, but we go to overtime. The Packers got a field goal, 20-20. Ball to 20. Aaron Jones bounces out wide, and he's off to the races. The rookie from UTEP, the game winner, and game over. Wow. What a great finish in this one. The Packers keep their playoff hopes alive. They are now 6-6, despite Brett Hundley, 13 of 22 for 84 yards.
Not great. It's pretty bad.
He's
pretty
so
bad.
bad.
Do you know what's funny, Tom? We keep going back and forth. Who's better, Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams? I have a question for you.
Why not both?
Why can't they both be good?
Exactly.
And why can't the Packers have a running game for the first time in Aaron Rodgers' career?
Because I want one for fantasy purposes.
It's making life a lot easier. They haven't had a running game like this since like Ahmad Green or like
nice
year one Eddie Lacy.
Thin Eddie.
All right. The game of the day, the Chiefs taking on the Jets. Who would have seen this coming? Tom, take it away.
All right, Alex Smith will find Travis Kelce early. It's a 7-0 lead for Kansas City. And next drive, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alex Smith going right back to Travis Kelce. 2 TDs, 2 drives to the Chiefs. What sputtering offense did they have, right? Jets, though, make this a game. McCown to Jermaine Kearse for the big gain. The Jets would later tie it up on a 1-yard run because, well, we're not going to show you a 1-yard run. All right, tie game still. Alex Smith under pressure. He tucks it and he runs. There goes Alex Smith, the quarterback, breaking tackles. It's a 70-yard gain. That was the most rushing yards the Chiefs had all game. So, yeah. All right, Jets down 3 here. McCown to Matt Forte. They take the lead 21-17 before the half. A lead is never safe, though, when you got Tyreek Hill deep downfield. He's just faster than you,
He's
Harris.
just faster than everyone.
That's what he is, 79 yards.
Can't teach speed.
Exactly. Chiefs now tie things up 27-24. Josh McCown. Look at this grab by Jermaine Kearse.
Woo!
A thing of beauty along the sideline. Woo! Beautiful grab there.
Snatch.
One-handed Terrence Mitchell. And he was kind of confused to where the ball was, I think, there. He's not been very good. All right. The more things change, the more they stay the same, Harris. Smith. Tyreek Hill, touchdown. Chiefs take the lead back.
Why can't he do it at home?
With the Jets with the ball. 7 minutes left. Josh McCown finds his man, Jermaine Kearse.
You get that contract, Jermaine Kearse.
It is a big gainer, and that would then lead to this. Josh McCown, the quarterback keeper. The Jets take the lead. The defense holds, and they win 38-31 over the Chiefs, who have fallen apart.
The Chiefs are officially a mess.
Yes.
It's a mess. Now they're scoring points, and they still can't win games. That's how bad this football team is right now. They can't do anything right.
This game was not on Alex Smith's shoulders. It was on the defense that was just.
He played a great game. 1933, 366, 4 TDs.
It's bad without Eric Berry.
I got a question for you, though, Tom.
What you got?
Are the Jets a playoff team?
No, they're not.
Oh.
They're going to finish with like 7 wins or 6 wins, and they're going to be right in the middle of not great, but not good, not bad to get a high draft.
I got to be surprised. I'm absolutely stunned there. 5-7. Let's move on to the 49ers at the Bears. Tom, Jimmy G, look at it go.
Finally getting the start, and it starts well. Marquise Goodwin for his first completed pass as a member of the 49ers. It's also a first down. All right, then not a great moment here for Jimmy G. Not really his fault, though. Kyle Fuller, a great individual effort, rips the ball away from Lewis Murphy. It's a pick for the Bears.
Get that man a wide receiver.
They capitalize. Mitchell Trubisky to Doncho Inman touchdown. Chicago up 7-3.
Nice throw.
Second quarter, Bears up 7-6. Tariq Cohen takes it to 40. He is going the wrong way. No, wrong way here.
No. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There he goes.
Yes.
Touchdown Bears. Just like they drew it up in practice. Touchdown Bears. A beautiful return there by Tariq Cohen. Kind of boring till late. 14-12. Over 2 minutes to go. Big third down conversion. Tawan Taylor gets it inside the 20-yard line. That leads to this. Robbie Gould, 24-yard field goal. Niners up 15-14 with 4 seconds left. The Bears, they got a chance for a miracle. They're going to try and do the onside. They all kind of huddle up. They give it to Cohen. He throws it forward, so the play's actually over. At this point, there's a flag you'll see come on the field. The Bears kind of run around, and it's all for naught. The Niners go on to win 15-14. Jimmy Garoppolo threw it quite a bit. Had the INT. Almost 300 yards, though. Looked pretty good.
The INT was a load of garbage.
But I mean, it wasn't his fault.
Please get this man a wide receiver. Please get in the wide. I can't wait to see Pierre Garçon with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they're a match made in heaven. Look at the 49ers. Look what happens when you actually have a good quarterback who makes everyone around them better.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Impressive stuff. All right, let's take you now to the Broncos taking off the Dolphins in Miami. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse for the Broncos, well,
this game happened.
It kind of does. First quarter, Trevor Siemian looking for a man, but it's picked off by TJ McDonald. First turnover of the game. Don't worry. There's going to be more. Later first quarter, it's 0-0 until the snap goes over Simeon's head, and he just throws it out of the end zone. That's a safety. They should have taught him how to catch the ball at Northwestern. Moving on
snap,
here.
that's not his fault.
We saw
Other stuff.
turnovers. We got more turnovers. Simeon gets picked off by Xavier Howard. He takes it back to the house, and the Finns go up 9-0. They also should have probably thrown him to not throw 3 picks in a game. Not great. But the Broncos defense wasn't about to be shown up later in the quarter. Jake Cutler looking for Kenny Stills, but the ball is knocked into the air by Chris Harris Jr. What an amazing interception by him. Look at it again, knocks it up into the air, has the wherewithal to turn around and pick it off. Great play by the All-Pro. But it was another Denver corner that was making plays in this one. Jay Cutler is going to throw another interception. It's Justin Simmons, the rookie from Boston College. Going to take it all the way back 65 yards for the touchdown. 6 combined turnovers in this game, but with 3 minutes left in the third, Kenyon Drake seals the deal with a 42-yard burst up the middle for the touchdown, and the Dolphins go on to win 35-9. Do you know how bad your team has to be playing to give up 35 points to the Dolphins?
Really bad.
Really bad.
Do you know why the Pro Bowl is a gigantic joke?
Why?
Because Trevor Siemian got an invite last year.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, so there was a very vocal contingent of Broncos fans who would argue with me about Siemian being actually good. Can we all agree now that he's just not? And just move on? He's not.
No, he's not great.
Thank you.
He's not going to pull a Tom Brady coming out of a Big Ten school out of a late round draft pick. Not going to happen. No, thank you. Let's move on to the Colts taking on the Jaguars. Tom, we had another trick play for the Jaguars.
The Jaguars get so tricky on their fake punts. This time it's a pass. Brad Nortman, the beautiful throw, makes a nice first down there for Jacksonville. Oh, those tricky Jags. Same drive now. Blake Bortles to Marquise Lee for the score. Jaguars go up 7-0 over the Colts. 10-3 now, right at the end of the half here with 2-minute warning. Bortles to Keelan Cole for the score. Check out one more time here. Great concentration on the catch and a great throw.
Yeah, great throw. Good for you, Blake Bortles.
All right, Colts on answer before the half. They're just outside the red zone. Jalen Ramsey steps up. Maybe the best corner in all football right now. Takes it back to the 25-yard line. Big turnover there for the Jaguars defense. Damn, they're good.
Yeah, really.
Third quarter now, Fournette pounds it in here. And this one more or less puts the game out of reach. It's 24-3 in the third quarter. But a nice T.Y. Hilton touchdown for fantasy purposes, you know? He gets into the end zone for the score.
Or almost the playoffs.
Makes it 24-10. The final score is 30-10. The Jaguars win over the Colts, as literally almost everyone saw coming.
Blah, blah, blah. Blake Bortles, 2 TDs against the worst secondary maybe in football.
Yeah, you summed it up pretty well there.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go on to a game that actually matters. The Panthers at the Saints. Tom, the Saints got a big win finally. What we got?
Saints strike first. Alvin Kamara, look how he just bounces off a defender here. He is not a big guy, but he rolls over anyway into the end zone for the score.
They more bounced off him.
Exactly. All right, now you just saw the rookie. Here's the veteran. Jonathan Stewart goes up and over. Number 48 in his career. Almost stepped on this guy, too. That's kind of a little awkward dive there. All right. The running game was working. Mark Ingram, 72 yards all the way down to the Panthers 12. Beautiful play there by Ingram.
Low-key, maybe an argument can be made that he should be second-team All-Pro this year. We'll see.
Ingram now, and we'll go ahead and punch it in here from the 3. Saints up 14-7. The Saints defense stays strong. The Panthers, Michael Parday came on the ball, and he tries to throw it, and yeah, it's a mess. Incomplete there. Big mistake there. That leads to this now from the 10-yard line. Drew Brees, Michael Thomas. Touchdown Saints. They extend that lead 21-7. Panthers, though, aren't going to quit. All right, at about the 2-minute warning, Newton to Christian McCaffrey. He can fly into the end zone for the score. But Alvin Kamara would not be outshined here. He's breaking tackles again into the end zone. 20 yards for the score. Saints back up 14. And then this is kind of some of the Panthers' day, really. Kalen Clay back to return. Chris Banjo will come up with the forced fumble. The Saints take over. Panthers got a late garbage time touchdown from Newton to Devin Funchess. Wasn't enough. The Saints at 9-3 are a good team.
Here we go. I am convinced.
Thank you.
They won the game. They finally beat a good team. Proud of you, Saints. I got to bang my fist about this, Tom. Everyone's talking about Alvin Kamara. I get it. The rookie, he's fantastic. Why is no one talking about how amazing Mark Ingram has been this year? He's going to set a career high in yards, probably yards per carry, touchdowns as well. He has been spectacular all season long. I think he's been one of the 5 best running backs in football this year. He really has. Every single time they've asked him to, 5.1 yards per carry this year, 180 attempts, almost 1,000 yards so far this year. He already has 9 touchdowns in 12 games. I get it. Al Kamara has been great. He's a receiving back. Whatever you want. Mark Ingram is 27 years old, about to enter into his prime. This is the Mark Ingram that they expected to have when they drafted him. I really think that he's taken that next step. I think he's fantastic.
I think the entire team's offense is great right now, Harris. It has just been nothing short of spectacular.
I love it. All right, let's move into the Rams taking on the Cardinals. Jared Goff and the Rams trying to get to 9-3 first quarter. Blaine Gabbert forgets that he does not have the arm strength to make this
I'm
run.
not going to mention the publication. ESPN published an article saying that Blaine Gabbert was the future of the Cardinals. So
not great.
Just throwing that out there.
LaMarcus Joyner takes it back 46 yards to the Cardinals 23. That leads to this. It's Goff to Gerald Everett for the touchdown. Rams now up 9-0 later in the corner. Rams looking for more. But Jared Goff's passing get picked off by Kareem Martin. Not a lot of picks this year for Jared Goff. Nice one there for the big man. 2 plays later, Gabbert's just going to give it right back. It's Alec Ogletree. Is he good? Is he not? No one really knows, but here's a pick 6 for Alec Ogletree.
Nice flip, too.
No one really knows.
I think he's good.
Rams up 16-0. Cardinals wouldn't be shot for long. Elijah Penny gets in for it's the new Peyton Barber. I have no idea who that is.
Ron Burgundy.
A couple of minutes later, it's Larry Fitzgerald.
Because he went to Idaho.
100th career catch. Also moved to fourth all-time receiving this game. Cardinals only down 3. But then it's Goff to Sammy Watkins. The Rams are up 13 now. And how about a little Todd Gurley action? 19 carries, 74 yards on the day for him. Also led the way receiving 6 catches for 84 yards. Nice little run here for 33 yards. The Rams move to 9-3. Their first winning season since 2003. The Rams did it. They have a winning season, Tom. It's great to see.
Jeff Fisher is awful.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you, Harris.
Congratulations. Do it. Claps for the Rams. Good for you, Rams. You turn it around in a big way, 9-3 with the potential to get the double-digit wins.
They will get the double-digit wins.
Fantastic stuff for the Rams. Not fantastic for the Browns because they're still the Browns.
It was great for Keenan Allen, my boy.
It was. Let's move now to Los Angeles, to StubHub Center, where the Chargers take on the Browns. Phillip Rivers, and you're talking about Keenan Allen. I have him on my Dynasty League. I've had him forever. He's going to get hit over the middle here for a big game. 2:55 left in the first half. Deshaun Kaiser going to fire it to, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Flash Gordon.
He's back.
He lives. Josh Gordon with his first catch since coming back. 2nd and 10. Kaiser passes caught by David Njoku. 4th touchdown of the year for him. Ties the Browns record for most rookie touchdown catches by a tight end. Into the 3rd now. Chargers up 3. Rivers to Keenan Allen. What a catch by the man. And then we got another one here. How about a little bit more Keenan Allen for you?
He's really good.
First player ever for 10-plus catches, 100-plus yards, and 1 touchdown in 3 consecutive games. And then here's a nice little run by Melvin Gordon for you fantasy nerds out there. 19 carries for 77 yards. Chargers win 19-10. Keenan Allen
wasn't really pretty.
I'll
throw this out there. That was not a pretty game.
Keenan Allen is putting on a show.
He is. Hey, Josh Gordon was really good in the return.
Yeah, he was. 4 catches for 85 yards. Tom, what do you expect out of him for the rest of the year?
I expect him to be not quite peak Josh Gordon, what we saw. But look, he is now the number 1 receiver, and he's going to get targets.
I think it's good for Kaiser.
And I drafted him in my Dynasty League this year.
Ooh, goodness. I like it. All right, let's move on to the Redskins and the Cowboys. If you haven't seen this highlight already,
you were in Cabo for a week.
You're in Cabo for a week. We're going to take it out of Dallas. Dak Prescott's going to get sacked here by 1, 2, 3, 4 Redskins. That's kind of painful. 2nd quarter now, scoreless. Oh, excuse me. Cousins here. He's going to get picked off by Jeff Heath.
Xavier Woods is better.
Jeff Heath back to the 15-yard line. Now it's Dak Prescott. And now he's going to find Des Bryant over the middle to make a couple guys miss. First down for them. And then it's Prescott to Jason Witten, the ultimate for the touchdown, the ultimate tight end, the old man himself, the future Hall of Famer. Gotta love him. Cousins trying to put some points on the board, but he is sacked by DeMarcus Tank Lawrence. 2 sacks on the night for him led to a Dan Bailey field goal. Redskins punting. And how about Ryan Switzer? Check this one out, Tom. You know, we talked a lot about Ryan Switzer.
And his lower lip tattoo.
It's
a real thing, by the way, folks.
Should he still be on the team? Should he still be the punt returner?
Oh, of course he should be on the team because I love Ryan Switzer. He was my boy. When I was scouting Mitchell Trubisky, I'm like, oh my God, I love Ryan Switzer. That's what I know.
Here's touchdown, and then here's Ryan Grant for the touchdown, make it 17-7. Heading into the second half, but the Cowboys couldn't be stopped. It's Dak to Dez for the score. All-time franchise leader for the Dallas Cowboys in touchdowns. Redskins in desperation mode at this point, and Cousins just going to throw up a silly pass.
Got deflected, and Anthony Brown picks it off. The benched Anthony Brown, by the way, getting some action late.
The Cowboys win 38-14.
Look, that was what the Cowboys were supposed to look like without Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, seriously.
Run the ball still. Have a defense that isn't awful.
Yeah, seriously.
They didn't ask Dak to do much. He banged up his hand. He's going to be okay, but.
What percentage chance do you think the Cowboys have making the playoffs?
Look, I honestly don't think it's that great. I think you need 10 wins to make it in the playoffs this year, at least in the NFC. The AFC, I think you can get by. You can buy with 9 wins. So I look at the Cowboys' rest of season schedule. Seattle winning against the Eagles actually really hurt Dallas because they're going to beat the Giants.
Yep.
All right, we all know that's coming. So they're going to be 7-6 back in the mix. The Oakland Raiders game, Sunday, the 17th, a nice evening game.
It's going to be the most watched game of the NFL season.
Look, it's going to be not quite a true elimination game, but it's going to be pretty damn close.
I think it's an elimination
Both
game.
those teams have to win that game.
Yep.
So let's say Dallas wins that game against the Raiders team that has issues overall. They're sitting there at 8-6. They get Zeke back against Seattle. The bright side is home game. We know how Seattle is on the road. They just have issues overall. But now they go to Week 17, maybe needing a win against an Eagles team that I think now is going to be playing for something.
Mm-hmm. Playing for that #1 seed. We'll see what ends up happening in the NFC playoff picture. I think it could be a pretty fun one. But I got to say,
look, the NFC playoff picture is
we
amazing.
might have an 11-5 team at the 5 seed.
I think we will.
It's pretty outrageous.
I think the Panthers are going to have 11 wins, and they're not going to win the NFC South. And if they do, the Saints are going to have 11 wins.
And as of right now, the Rams are currently leading the Seahawks in that division. The Seahawks might actually get into a 6 seed this year.
With the Rams and the Panthers and Seattle,
you
got to win 10 games.
Peak Russell Wilson might only be able to get the Seahawks to a 6 seed this year.
Yeah, because he's playing out of his mind because his offensive line is awful.
It's absolutely crazy. Reminder that this episode is brought to you by Man Crates. Head to mancrates.com for a great holiday gift idea for your man. If you're having trouble figuring out what you want to buy your guy for either Christmas or Hanukkah or any holiday season that you may celebrate out there, Man Crates is the perfect decision. You want to get him some jerky, get him some jerky. You want to get him some beautiful tempered glass barware, you get him some glass barware with your favorite team's logo on it. They have something for everyone. Fantastic gifts that we have opened up here on air.
Plenty of grill crates as well, and I know it's kind of the winter time, so maybe that's not the way to go right now. But there's quite a bit out there. There's stuff for golfers, workout guys. I don't want to call them meatheads, but I kind of just did there. So there's that NHL, college barware, NBA barware, any barware you want, they've got it.
They got it.
Unless you're a fan of Idaho. So power schools only.
Head to mancrates.com for the best gift ideas. That is Tom Downey. I'm Harris Rubenstein. Tom, before we go, final. Who are the Giants hiring head coach?
Me.
Really?
No, they're not going to.
Okay.
I kid. They're going to target Josh McDaniels heavily.
Okay.
If they miss out on McDaniels, I think it's going to depend on who they hire as their GM.
Depends on who they hire as GM.
I will take that covered answer, but McDaniels is going to be their top target.
Prediction? It's going to be Mike Smith because the Giants are going to Giants this so hard.
I will laugh.
They're going to Giants this so hard, and we will be here on NFL Daily to laugh along with you if the Giants hire Mike Smith. But for now, that is Tom Downey. I'm Harris Rubenstein. We will see you guys tomorrow for another great edition of NFL Daily. But for now, see ya.